Hello everyone and welcome to the Anime Void. I'm Brian, your host, and are you ready for...
Emotional, damn it!
Well, more like emotional whiplash, but we'll get to that in a bit. Today, I'm going to be reviewing the anime Wandering Witch: The Journey of Elaina. This light novel turned manga turned anime follows the titular journey of the titular Elaina, who is a talented young woman that aspires to be a witch, traveling the world like the witch Nike, whose book she simply adores. Along the way, she finds many experiences and people that shapes who she is as a person. Now, the synopsis sure does sound innocent enough, and that's really how they get you, isn't it? But to properly show off this wild roller coaster of emotions, I'm going to be going over this anime episode by episode. Like any good journey, it starts with the first step, and the first episode, Elaina the Apprentice Witch, makes that step with confidence. We see Elena's inspiration for wanting to be a witch as her mother reads her the story of Nike. As mentioned before, Elaina is talented. Very much so, in fact. By the time she reaches 14, she qualifies to become a witch's apprentice. This mass of talent and intellect does cause a fair bit of arrogance that does continue throughout the series. Really, it's a defining trait for her.
And who is this beauty with ashen hair fluttering in the wind, you might ask? She who shines so brightly with talent and splendor that even the sun is squinting involuntarily? That's right. It's me.
But it does come with many drawbacks. In this case, Elaina is snubbed by every witch in the country. They have their own pride to think about, and they don't want to get shown up by a teenager. Her parents, worried for the well-being of their daughter who's had it on easy street, set her up to be the apprentice of the Stardust Witch Fran. Mostly, Fran just has Elaina do chores, coming off as a flighty airhead and not really teaching her much. During a test duel between student and teacher, Fran trounces Elaina, giving the well-needed taste of defeat. Afterwards, the truth comes out about how her parents were involved, and Fran begins to train Elaina for real. And after a year, she is dubbed the Ashen Witch and begins her journey at the age of 15. A strong but simple beginning that sets up our flawed but lovable lead well. And from here, the story, while linear, is fairly episodic. Most episodes don't lead into the next, and there could be months in between. I believe, for the most part, Elaina is 18 in the series, though I could be getting confused with all the different mediums. But still, there's no big jumps. The second episode, The Land of Mages, has a similar feel and vibe to the first episode. Elaina enters the Land of Mages, but she ends up crashing into a mage. Mages and witches are different? Witches are cooler, apparently? Doesn't matter. Anyway, during her crash, she ends up losing her brooch, which signifies her as a witch, making it very difficult for her to find a place to sleep. The only inn that will take her just so happens to be where the mage she crashed into, named Saya, works at. Suspicious. Throughout the episode, she ends up assisting Saya in training and practicing for her test to become a witch's apprentice. However, Saya is actually pretty competent and doesn't actually need help. As it turns out, she had come to this country with her sister, but said sister became a witch and left her behind. Unsure of how to plainly exist without her sister, Saya saw the newcomer witch and made a ploy to get her to stay with her. Convoluted, yes, but just go with it. At the end of it, the two have a heart-to-heart, and Saya ends up becoming a witch herself and is very, very gay for Elaina. This is a good follow-up episode. It firmly sets the tone as a nice, relaxing anime. Maybe we'll get some action, like the duel in the first episode, but overall, the feel we have is just something to watch and chill with. And if you want to chill out with me with some other anime, or maybe my OCs, why not like the video? Hit the subscribe button. Stay as long as you want. It's all cool here. Now let's talk about the plant zombies. So yeah, the third episode is in 2 parts. The first part is called The Girl as Pretty as a Flower. On her way to the next country, Elaina meets a woman in a field of flowers and agrees to deliver a bouquet. Well, the flowers are actually magic and evil, and the woman was the missing sister of a guard who goes to the field and is turned into a plant zombie. Elaina then leaves as a horde of plant zombies start to approach the city. So, yeah, that's dark, but maybe it's just an outlier. What's the next part about? Ah, yes, bottled happiness. A young man is using magic to gather little moments of happiness to show his lady love. Now, that's just sweet and, she's actually his father's slave. And showing her all of these scenes of things she has never been allowed to experience and things that she could never truly experience given her trauma and lot in life is just a twist of the knife driving her to... The road to hell really is paved with good intentions, huh? Well, yeah, that took a hard turn, but it's subtle, I guess. It's not like the next episode, The Princess Without Subjects, is going to involve a princess whose lover and unborn child were killed by her father, the king, because the man was a commoner. And it's certainly not going to involve her turning her father into some horrific monster that is compelled to ravage and ruin the country, all while he is still painfully aware that he is slaughtering thousands of innocent people until she eventually brutally kills him. And it absolutely won't end with her going into a mental shock, hallucinating that her lover and child are still alive and well in the ruins of her castle, while Elaina can only watch on helplessly. I do not have the required Sprite to properly convey these emotions. I don't think there could possibly be a Sprite that could properly convey these emotions. Okay, so the series got dark. I guess we have to live with that now. Was not prepared for this, but we move on to the next. Royal Celestia. This one is about Elaina reuniting with her teacher Fran, who is now working as a school teacher for young mages. Elaina comes in to help with the lessons and bonds with the students, who, along with Fran, give Elaina a beautiful and touching send-off as she continues her journey. It's really a similar tone to the first 2 episodes, simple but engaging with a level of heartfelt sincerity. Why must you toy with my emotions? Hell, the next episode, The Land of Truth Tellers, is even more lighthearted. It's about a king who wants his kingdom to have no lies, so his personal witch casts a spell to make it so that no one can speak lies. Speak being important to this story here. Through what I can only describe as shenanigans, Elaina, with the help of Saya, serving as the role of useless lesbian, helps break the spell, and everything is hunky-dory at the end. Like, this is more in line with how the series started, only a slightly lighter tone, so normally it'd be nothing to really talk about. But 2 episodes ago, I watched a woman descend into a psychosis. But we are not done with the crazy train yet. We got another 2-parter, starting with The Wall Etched by Travelers. And, remember that one episode of Avatar: The Last Airbender, The Great Divide? Kind of that, but not really. 2 towns have a wall between them because they hate each other, for reasons. The wall ends up becoming a tourist attraction and eventually breaks, and the 2 sides end up being like, wait, why do we hate each other? And now everything's chill. But then the grapes happen. In a very similar situation, The Grape Stomping Girl is a story about two villages that hate each other over a wine feud. At least they have a reason this time. One village has a wine that's advertised as having the grapes lovingly stomped by the feet of a maiden. So of course, it's selling like hotcakes. Elaina ends up at the other village. And after being called flat by the competition, she agrees to be a grape-stomping maiden and goes full Grapes of Wrath. If I drank, I'd personally go with the bottle that had the cute angry girl on it. MILF grapes are great, but I feel like I'd get shanked if I didn't grab that one. But it's neither here nor there because it turns out they aren't MILF grapes anyway, they are man grapes. But honestly, to each their own. Still, the false advertisement leads to a grape-flinging war where Elaina proves herself to be a complete lush and causes the most havoc. Come sunrise, all aggression and Elaina are gone and the villages unite and everything's chill. I'll be honest, I was laughing like crazy during this episode. It was good fun. It was great. And then I remember that slave girl and nearly broke my neck. What even is this anime? The next episode, The Ripper, made me question that even more, because Elaina ends up going to a country that's obsessed with creepy dolls. Creepier than that, there's a criminal on the loose known as The Ripper. They stalk their prey, sneaking into their rooms in the dead of night, and steals their hair. And then the hair gets put on a doll, and that doll is sold at a black market auction. Alright, I guess this anime is silly now, fine! Elaina got her hair stolen, and thanks to her vanity, she busts the underground doll ring with the help of Sheila, who ends up being Saya's teacher. And the weirdness does not stop there. The next episode involves... Oh, good Lord Almighty. Okay, so, a deep sorrow of the past indeed. We're back to being dark. Very, very dark. Elaina meets a witch named Estelle, who wants to travel back in time to save her childhood friend Selena. According to Estelle, Selena's parents were murdered when she was young. She was sent to live with her uncle, who she took out after he abused her. She went on to become a serial killer, and Estelle ended up being the one to execute her. Since then, Estelle has worked on a way to go back and save Selena's parents so that she can remain happy, even if it is in a different timeline. Noble cause and all that. However, it turns out that Selena's mother and father were horrifically abusing her all along, and that's what caused her to snap. The little lunatic ends up getting what she wants, regardless, and Estelle not only executes her again, but destroys her memories of Selena in order to boost her magic to do it. This, of course, traumatizes Elaina and me. I will not recover from this. All I want to do is ask, what the actual fuck? What even is this anime anymore? It starts off chill, takes a dark turn, comes back to chill, goes up to silly, and then plunges into the abyss before returning to chill again. My heart can't handle this, but we're almost done. We have yet another two-parter, though this time it's in 2 episodes. The 2 teachers and the 2 apprentices. The first part follows younger Fran and Sheila as apprentices of the witch Nike, who may or may not be Elena's mom. This season doesn't tell, though it's not really important right now because here we see Fran and Sheila take out an anti-mage terrorist group known as the Curio Company. 20 years later, their respective pupils, Elaina and Saya, have to do the same. The company causes chaos by having Elaina and Saya switch bodies before unleashing a love potion throughout the city. We also meet Mina, Saya's sister, who has a deep sister complex revealed by the love potion, so some shenanigans start going down while Elaina is in Saya's body. Hey, remember the decapitation from 2 episodes ago? 'Cause I do! Anyway, in the end, Order is restored, and Elaina continues her journey to the next episode, the everyday tale of every Ashen Witch. Here, our protagonist enters a mysterious land, where it is said that all of your wishes will come true. But instead, she meets various versions of herself. She says that she didn't wish for this, but given her vanity and ego, she definitely would be the first to sign up for a clone orgy. Some are just plain different personalities, while others are what-if scenarios. But our Elaina is the protagonist. Anyway, it turns out that this was actually a wish made by a dark Elaina, who wants all of the Elainas to suffer like she did. You see, this Elaina went through pretty much all of the traumatizing things ours did. But it really got to her and messed her up, making her the most relatable. Seriously, how do you get past the thing with the time travel? That would have me catatonic. Also, short hair looks way better on her. Anyway, they end up having a heart-to-heart and a big slumber party, and the clone orgy did not happen. And then when our Elaina woke up, it was all gone like a dream. The season then ends with her accidentally swapping books with a mysterious young woman named Amnesia, teasing to a second season. And that's Wandering Witch, the journey of Elaina. And I need therapy after that. And look, it's not the darkest or the goriest anime out there. There are shows that have it from the beginning to the end. But it's the false sense of security and the peaks and valleys of it all that makes it so impactful here. The first 2 episodes don't prepare you for the down and dour subject matters of the 2 that followed them. And absolutely nothing in this prepares you for the murder child, especially when the one that was directly before it was so silly. Like I said, this is an emotional roller coaster. It has such a wild tonal whiplash that I think marathoning it in one sitting could kill you. I can't tell if I love it or hate it, but I have not been able to stop thinking about it. I do very much enjoy the characters, at least. They feel full and real, even with the over-the-top anime moments like they are wont to have. They make rolling with the punches that the story decides to give me an easier time, though I am hesitant to pick up the manga, but maybe someday. Now, what are your thoughts on Wandering Witch, the journey of Elaina? Let me know down in the comments below. I'm very interested to find out. Thank you so much for watching, and to catch you next time in the void. Later.